Hi, everybody. This is Crystal Proxmire of Oakland County Times. We're here today with Shelley Drain, who is running for 47th District Court Judge. How are you today?
I'm doing great, Crystal. How are you?
Wonderful. Thank you so much for being here.
Mhm.
Can you just tell us why you've decided to run for
Mhm.
judge?
Sure. First of all, I want to thank you for this opportunity. It's wonderful to be able to get the message out. So I would say I have decided to run for judge because I really love what I do in working in the community. I've been a Wayne County prosecutor for over 27 years, and so I'm working with victims of crime and abuse every day. So I just think at this time I can have a greater impact on the community being a judge rather than just being a prosecutor.
Can you talk a little bit more about your professional background and some of those skills that you bring to the table?
Sure. So I went to University of Michigan Dearborn and I graduated with a degree in psychology. And after that, I got a job at the health department inspecting restaurants and schools, which was a very interesting job, but I wanted to do something a little bit different, so decided to go to law school. And after graduating law school, I joined the Wayne County Prosecutor's Office. So again, I've been there for 27 years in various departments and divisions. And I will say my favorite one was being in the juvenile division because you're working with kids and their families. But I've currently also been with the Special Victims Unit handling domestic violence cases, which also incorporates some child abuse and sexual assault cases as well. So I've been doing that for the last 15 years. And specifically, I have been in the district court handling all of my cases every day, doing the, specifically domestic violence. So those are the skills that I bring.
What prompted you to go into the law in the first place?
Well, growing up, my father was a lawyer and then became a judge. So my sister and I grew up helping my dad with his campaigns and just listening to him talk about the law and different interesting cases that he had. And so it was always kind of in the back of my mind, but my dad always said, no matter what you decide to do, just make sure you work really hard, but consider going into law. So that's, that was really very inspirational to me. And so that kind of spurred me on. And that's partially what made me decide to go to law school.
And what are you most proud of in your career so far?
So what I'm most proud of is having the opportunity to work with victims of crime and again, especially the juveniles. Um, I was a prosecutor there for many years, and it wasn't just about punishing juveniles. As a prosecutor, everyone thinks, oh, you're there to help to convict the criminals, but with juveniles, there are many reasons that they commit crimes. And so you have to look at every single thing very individually and their background and work with their family. So that's what I'm most proud of is that I was able to be with a team that was able to do that and just work as a group for the community, the victims of crime, but also for the juvenile themselves.
What are some ways that you've been involved in the community?
So I've been a supporter of an organization called Grace Centers of Hope that helps a lot of people in the community with homelessness that have issues with homelessness, chemical dependency, and abuse issues in their family. That's a wonderful organization. And then also going back to the juvenile division, also when I worked there, I was part of their program called a STAND program, and that was for uh, um, juveniles that had substance abuse issues as well. So that was an after-hours program working with a judge, a defense counsel, a defense attorney, a prosecutor, a probation officer, and the juvenile and their families. So It was really, really focused on doing everything that we could to find out what the issues were, work with the juveniles and their families, get them involved in different activities. And the best thing about it is we saw so much improvement and growth in those juveniles and their families. So that was my favorite thing. And I look forward to being involved in more community activities, especially involving victims and juveniles.
What do you think is going to be the hardest part about being a judge?
The hardest part about being a judge is that you you are you are somewhat limited in what you can do. Um, you have to follow the law. That is first and foremost of following the law. We're not, as a district court judge, you're not there changing law. You're there to follow the law. So all the decisions that you make have to be about what the law is and just following that. There may be other things that you would want to incorporate and might not be able to do that, but I think that you can look at whatever programs may be available for people to help them if you can't, if there's nothing within the law really that provides for that. But I also think that it provides opportunity as well to help victims of crime and just make sure that they are heard and that they receive any possible help that can be provided by the court.
How will you know if you're doing a good job as a judge?
I think that I will know by making sure that everyone everyone is heard, that everyone that walks in the courtroom feels like they have a fair say, that they are not prohibited in what they say. Everyone who walks into the courtroom is affected. Their lives are affected in some way. That's why they're there. So they need to feel that they are respected and that they are heard and that the decision that is made might not be exactly what they want, but it's fair and just. So as long as I can do that, then I would know that I'm doing a good job.
In this race, there are a few candidates running for this position. Why should the voters pick you?
I would say they should pick me for the experience that I have. Again, especially the last over 4 years, I have been specifically working at 36th District Court, which is one of the highest volume district courts in our entire country. So I am doing cases every single day in a very high volume court. So I have the experience in the district court. So it's not just working in the office. It's not just working in other courts. I'm specifically working in the district court, which gives me a lot of experience. And I know the law, and and I love what I do right now, but I really want to do this job as well. I love district court work as opposed to any other work, and I love working with people, and I want to help people, and I want to serve the community. So that's why I would ask for everyone's vote.
So if voters want more information about you and your campaign, where can they go?
They can go to www.shelleydrain.com, as well as my Facebook page and Instagram page.
Perfect. Well, thank you for taking the time to talk with us today.
Thank you so much.